the words that we speak to ourselves that will say to the universe, they will come back to hinder our progress in how we show up in life. Welcome to Create Your Own Economy with Bumi Ajibade, the podcast that empowers corporate professionals ready to break free and transition into entrepreneurship with confidence and clarity, as well as business owners looking to grow and scale their businesses. If you're exhausted from building other people's dreams, leaving you little time or energy to focus on what truly matters to you, you are in the right place. Each week, we provide actionable strategies, expert interviews, and real-life success stories to help you turn your ideas into thriving business. Ready to take bold, clear steps toward life and business you deserve? Let's get started. Did you tell yourself that you will step into entrepreneurship in 2025? Well, we're 6 months down and 6 months to go. So since half of the year is behind us, but your dreams are still ahead of you. Since the year is not over yet, I tell you, neither is your goal of becoming your own boss, of having your own business, of building a legacy for you and for your family. But the other thing is this: you don't have to wait any longer. You don't need more time to wait. You know what you need? You just need a plan to start today and be intentional about your growth. So if you have been waiting for the perfect time to start a business and you have not found the perfect time in the last 6 months to start your business, to start your side hustle, in 2025, I tell you, over the next 6 months, you can either stay in the same place where you are right now, still thinking of study, or you can decide and be intentional and take a step forward today. And you don't have to quit your job tomorrow. You don't have to quit your 9 to 5 tomorrow, but you need to start thinking differently and start thinking and asking yourself questions. What would you do with the second half of the year? What is it that you want to do towards your dream, towards achieving your goal in the second half of the year? So let's talk about how can we make that second half of the year count for you, because this is the time for you to reflect, a time for you to reset, and a time for you to refocus your attention to that which is important to you, which is becoming an entrepreneur in 2025. Welcome again. I am Bumi Ajibade. So if you've been trying and thinking for years, for months of starting a business, this episode will really give you some practical steps to start right now, today. Put something in place today without quitting your 9 to 5. So you don't need a resignation to start your business. You just need a decision today, to make the decision today. So I will share 3 things that you can do with you today. So the first thing is for you to reflect on why you haven't started yet and tell yourself that now is the best time to start. And the most important thing when you're asking this question of why haven't I started? What is holding me back? Why am I dragging, to start achieving the goal that I set for myself? It can either be that goal is no longer relevant. So if that goal is not relevant, you can decide to set another goal. Or it might be that the goal is relevant, but there are internal and external things holding you back. So this is where you need to reflect. You should really sit down and reflect on the last 6 months and figure out what is holding you back and identify the top two things, because when you write your list of what you think are the things that you think are holding you back, there might be a very long list of things. So now you will then decide to say, all right, let me identify two things right now. Out of all these things, what are the two major things that are really holding me back? And then you start working on those. And then ask the question, what have I been telling myself that is keeping me stuck? Because at times, the things that we tell ourselves, the words that we speak to ourselves, that will say into the universe, they will come back to hinder our progress in how we show up in life. And then you begin to replace those words, those excuses. Replace those words and those excuses with positive things that can set you in motion, that can make you begin to execute, whatever you have for yourself. Like you might say, I don't have time. I don't have time. And I know that is not an excuse, is actually a fact, especially if you have a 9-to-5 job, you have family. Some of you even have another job on the side to complement your income. And I don't want to minimize that. I see you, I hear you, I've been there. So, but you can replace I don't have time with I will figure out chunks of time that I can devote to becoming an entrepreneur, that I can devote to the steps that I need to take to becoming my own boss. And if you are a perfectionist and you tell yourself, I need to have my ducks in a row, and then you are procrastinating or you are a perfectionist, how do you get over that? There are sometimes you will need to talk to a mentor or you need to talk to a coach to really hold you accountable to moving towards your goal or your dream. And I had a quote. I was having a call with one of my coaches last week, and I heard a phrase. And it says that someone aspired to be a procrastinator. Someone aspired to be a procrastinator, but never got to it. And I think that is so true, because it's like you are putting it, you are telling yourself, oh yeah, I do it. The next time I do it, the next quarter I do it. So this is an advantage for you to have a mid-year reset, as we are talking about your mid-year shift and how you can start your business or your side hustle in the next 6 months and really make it working and moving towards your goal. So decide where you want to be. So when you are reflecting on why you didn't do anything in the first 6 months, or why there's not that you didn't do anything at all, maybe some of you, but why you didn't do enough to keep you going, the next thing is for you to decide, where do you want to be by the end of the year? And, by the end of the next 6 months, where do you want to be? Do you want to have launched your side hustle? Do you want your first client, or 5 clients, or 15 clients? What is it that you want for your business? And then whatever it is that you want, that goal that you set for yourself, then you now go back and set what we call tactics, action plans on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, those micro goals that will help you to achieve whatever you have set for yourself by the end of December. And I really want you to take this seriously. If the goal is important to you, if you have heard me in some of my past episodes, I've talked about 2-week year strategy to stay on track. And I have been using that strategy because at times when you put things out for a whole year, you won't know until 6 months is over. And then you are like, what happened to January to June? oh, sorry, I'm sorry to break it to you, it's gone. So, but when you put that 12-week year strategy in place for yourself, where you have one or two goals and you are specific to get it done in 3 months, in 12 weeks, then you don't have to wait till October or November and you are like, ooh, I need to rush. So because when you delay, there's an emotional cost to delaying your goal, to delay starting your business, to delay launching your product, to delay launching that service. There is a cost to that delay. One, you are frustrated because it's like, I'm doing all these things and then I'm not able to launch my business, or you burn out because you're just working and you have nothing to show for it. And then this stagnation. And also, by the time you decide to launch that product or that service, somebody will have done it. And then you have to go back and start thinking of what can I add to that to make it different. So, but when you begin that momentum today, when you begin to set that, what I call the mid-year momentum, the mid-year shift, when you begin to put that emotion today, you can build it through action that you are going to take today and not waiting. Then number one, I said, reflect on why you have not yet started, and tell yourself now is the best time. Then number two, start today to make a change in your mindset and in your thinking. This is what we know, and I've read it in books, and I'm sure you have also heard that things come twice. It first starts in your mind and then it will appear physically. So whatever is in your mind, you need to shift the identity that you have given yourself. Because most of us, the 9 to 5, the job that we do has given us an identity. Oh, I am an employee. Or you can say, I'm just an employee. It's just like, I'm just an employee. There's nothing else to me. You have to shift that thinking. Because you might be working for somebody today as an employee, but that is not your last stop. That is not the last train stop or the last bus stop for you. You are a visionary, Jenny, because you have a vision of living in your passion. You have a vision of what you want the next stage of your life to look like. And if you have been trying to do something for a very long time and then it's like, oh, I failed in doing it. No, you are not a failure. You are just being careful, maybe too careful. And I'm telling you now, as much as I want you to bring out the best product, the best service, if you don't bring out what you have now, then how do you improve on it? So instead of saying, I'm just, I'm a failure, I'm not able to bring out this product I've been working on for 3 years, for 5 years, you can say, maybe I've not been devoting enough time to it because I feel I don't have time. And then you can change it, mindset shift, identity to work in your vision, to work in your passion. And then you can tell yourself, I will consistently and intentionally schedule time for my business. I think this is where I struggled when I was trying to transition from being an employee to being my own boss, is having time audit. Being able to identify the few hours in a week that I can dedicate to my business and making it intentional and put me and my business on my schedule. Just as I put the 9 to 5 on my schedule, I encourage you to block out your business time on your schedule. Yes. You might need to wake up early. If you're an early person, before you go to work, it might be before you go to work. If you leave your house at 6 or whatever is your family situation, you can decide to do it early. Because if you know that when you get back, by the time you make dinner, you help the kids do homework and this and that, clean up the kitchen, then you are too tired to do anything, then you can decide to wake up an hour earlier than you wake up and dedicate that 1 hour to your business. You can use evenings if money doesn't work for you, or you can use weekends. And also, you can use your break period, 15 minutes. What can you do for 15 minutes to advance your plan towards releasing or launching your business? And protect whatever time you have devoted to your business, planning your business. Protect that time, just as you protect the 9 to 5 on your calendar. Protect that time. Make it sacred for you. And consistency, that is what you need. Just remember that. Is the consistency that you need is not perfection. You just need to be consistent. And when you consistently put that forward, you begin to see a shift. And number 3 thing that I want to discuss with you quickly is you begin to network intentionally. Connect with other people. Connect with, maybe you can decide to connect with just one entrepreneur or one side hustler every week. Connect with them. Maybe on social media. Read what they are writing. Read what they are putting out there on social media. Think of the value that they can give you, the value that they give you. Connect with them. See what they're putting out. And also yourself, begin to add value to people on social media, or people that you have identified that you want to talk to. Join communities. Join mastermind groups. Join other networking spaces on social media. See what other people are doing. Success leaves clues, and you need to follow those clues. As a roundup, you don't need to overhaul your life to get started. You don't need to change everything in your life to get started. You just need to figure out a chunk of time and just start. Just start. The second half of the year can be the turning point you have been waiting for. You've got 6 more months in this year to show yourself what is possible, to show yourself what you have. And I have a webinar that I did early in the year, and I invite you to go back to that webinar if you have never heard of that. I recorded a webinar on the 12-week year, the strategy of the 12-week year. And I dropped in a lot of nuggets in that. And also there's a worksheet that I place in that, in the webinar, in the slides on the webinar. And I want you to go in there and really see what you can do right now. Decide on what you are going to do right now. Because if you start small and you are consistent, by December, you'll be in a different place. Mentally, financially, and most importantly, purposefully. I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in to Create Your Own Economy with Bumi Ajibade. I hope this episode gave you the clarity and inspiration to take the next step in your entrepreneurial journey. If you're a corporate professional feeling stuck or unfulfilled, and you are thinking about starting your own business, but find yourself asking, how, what, where, who, or when, I invite you to download my special curated guide, Transition from Corporate Professional to Entrepreneur, the 10-step guide for success. This guide is designed to make your transition smoother and less stressful. Afterward, schedule a clarity call to map out your personalized success path. We invite you to write a review, like, and share this episode with anyone who needs this information. See you in the next episode.